Hi, my name is Atea Johnson, and I'm a nutrition educator in the Health and Wellbeing Department of UW-Madison Division of Extension in the Waukesha County office. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a quick, easy, and healthy snack. All right, so today we're going to be making SunButter Energy Bites. So before I show you all of the ingredients, something really unique about this recipe is the SunButter. So if you haven't heard of SunButter before, it's essentially a nut butter, like say peanut or almond butter, but it's made from sunflower seeds. So if someone has a peanut or a tree nut allergy, this is a safe alternative and it tastes really delicious. Sometimes you don't even know the difference. So before we begin, I'm going to be sanitizing my hands. Typically before preparing a meal or recipe, you're going to want to wash your hands with warm soapy water for 20 seconds. But if you don't have access to a sink, sanitizer is okay. So I'm going to be doing that. And then rub it in. All right. So then, for the purposes of this recipe, I'm going to be using gloves. And you might want to also at home use gloves because it can get a little sticky with what we're about to do. So I'm going to be putting these on. All right. So now that I have my gloves on, we can get started. So in our recipe, it calls for 1 cup of rolled oats, a 1/2 cup of SunButter, a 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal, which is ground up flax seeds, and they kind of act as a binding agent to keep all of it together, and because we don't use eggs. And then a 1/2 cup, or you could use up to a cup of raisins or craisins or a mix-in of your choice. And then we'll also be adding a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 cup of honey, and teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so for this recipe, you'll need a spatula, a bowl, and gloves. So the first ingredient you're going to add is, of course, your oats. When you're making a recipe like this, you'll want to add dry ingredients first. And so these are called energy bites because they essentially will give you a lot of energy. This is a lot of the grain groups, and in the grain group is carbohydrates. And that's your body's favorite source of energy of calories to use for energy. So the 3 main food groups are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So your body likes to use carbohydrates first, then protein, and then fat. So then you're going to be adding just a pinch of salt, actually. So shake it up, add a pinch. And then 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So for this, in order to measure it correctly, you might want to take the lid off and then stick it in and then shake it off so that it can level out. Just like that. And then you add that. So then again, mix your dry ingredients together so that all of the oats get coated with the rest of the ingredients. Okay. So then we're going to be adding our wet ingredients. So you're going to be taking your 1/2 cup of SunButter and adding it to your dry ingredients. And this is where your spatula comes in handy because you're going to have to scoop all of this out. And SunButter, just like any other nut or seed butter, is a great source of protein and healthy fats. And it's a plant-based protein, which makes it also very good. Okay, so then once you've got all of that out of there, some of it might stick on your spatula a little bit. Then we're going to be adding a 1/4 cup of honey. So you're going to take another 1/4 cup and you're going to squeeze your honey in. Might use a little less, just like that. Because you can always add more, but you can't add less. So then You'll pour it in, and you might want to reuse the spatula a little bit. And honey is a great source of natural sugar, and it sweetens this recipe up, and it kind of tastes like an oatmeal cookie. But there's no added sugars in here besides honey and our raisins. So then you're going to be adding your teaspoon of vanilla. Add that in. And also, vanilla isn't sweet, but it does help add that kind of cookie flavor to it. So then you're going to mix it up a little bit before you add your mix-ins, just to get it all blended in here well. And these are great for, it's a quick and easy snack that you can prepare ahead of time. Say if you have a sport that you need to go to and you need a quick snack to bring along with, or for school, if you need a snack, or when you come home. It's quick and easy to make. All right, so once it's pretty well blended, all your ingredients in there, then, and you can, this is why you have gloves on, because then you're gonna get in here and use your hands. Then you're gonna add your mix-ins. Doing a 1/2 cup of raisins here. And you're gonna mix it in. And this adds the raisins and the honey add a good source of carbohydrates as well, so that you can get your energy. So in this recipe, you have your grain group because you have your oats, you have protein from the SunButter, and you have fruit from the raisins. So then, once you can form a ball with it, like that, you're going to take a sheet of wax paper, or if you have like a cookie tray, that can work as well, and you're gonna make little balls out of them, about 1 inch in size, and then line them up. So for these, you can store them in the fridge or in the freezer, I like to, in maybe a Tupperware container. And then you can pop them out and thaw them if you're going to be leaving soon, or they taste very good frozen. There you go. I'd say serving size is probably about 3 bites. Oh, that one's a little tiny. And then you continue making them until you've used up all of your batter.